The Florida Joint Center for Citizenship presents Protecting and Limiting Rights, Video 1, Protecting Our Rights. You might have already heard about the Bill of Rights. But do you know the Bill of Rights wasn't added until after the Constitution was ratified? If you remember, the Constitution was ratified about 1787, and there were quite a few of the writers of the Constitution who did not feel that a Bill of Rights was necessary. In this video, we'll learn how the U.S. Constitution protects our rights even without the Bill of Rights. But be sure to watch video 2 to learn how our rights are also limited with the Constitution. After watching this video, you better recognize that rights are protected but are not unlimited, and you'll examine the role of the judicial branch of government in protecting individual rights. But again, be sure to watch video 2 to learn about how rights might actually be limited. So we know that the Founding Fathers did not originally have a Bill of Rights as part of our Constitution. They really didn't think it was necessary. At least many of them didn't. So why didn't they think the Constitution needed a Bill of Rights? Because they thought it already protected the rights of individuals. The writers of the Constitution wanted to create a federal system of government that was effective and powerful, but also that safeguarded the rights of individuals. So the Constitution establishes a system that protects the rights of the individual and also limits the powers of the federal government. Later on, they added the Bill of Rights to list the rights of citizens in order to guarantee that the government won't interfere with those rights. So let's take a look at some of the ways the Constitution protects or safeguards these individual rights outside of the Bill of Rights. And we're going to start by looking at the rights located in Article 1, Section 9 of the Constitution. In Article 1, Section 9, we have two pretty important protections for our individual rights outside the Bill of Rights. These are habeas corpus and no ex post facto laws. So let's take a look at habeas corpus first. In Article 1, Section 9, it says that the privilege of the writ of habeas corpus shall not be suspended unless, when in cases of rebellion or invasion, the public safety may require it. So habeas corpus assures citizens that the government has to provide a cause or reason to hold someone in jail. Unless there's a rebellion, a revolution, or some issue with public safety, they can't just arrest you and put you in jail. There's more here, though, that protects us. Article 1, Section 9 also says that no bill of attainder or ex post facto law shall be passed. Just what the heck does that mean? Banning ex post facto laws prevents someone from being arrested because something that they once did that was legal was now illegal. You can't be arrested for doing something that was legal at the time you did it. Say, for example, you were playing a video game you liked, and you'd always played this game. But suddenly they passed a law that said that playing that game was illegal, and if you had ever played it, you would go to jail. That's not fair, and that's not right, and our Constitution bans ex post facto laws. Let's check in. Try to complete the following in your own words. Explain the concept of habeas corpus. Habeas corpus makes sure that we cannot be held in jail without a reason. Let's try another one. How does banning ex post facto law protect our rights? The banning of ex post facto laws makes sure that the government cannot pass a law that punishes us for doing something that was legal when we did it. Let's recap what we've learned so far. Remember that the Bill of Rights was not added to the U.S. Constitution until after it was ratified. And the Constitution created a federal system of government while also safeguarding our individual rights. Article 1, Section 9 of the Constitution has protections for the rights of citizens, including the idea that habeas corpus protects us from being held in jail without a reason, and no ex post facto laws, which make sure that the government cannot pass a law that punishes us for doing something that was legal when we did it. So how do we make sure our rights in the Constitution are upheld? Well, That's where the judicial branch comes into play. And let's take a few minutes and look at the judicial branch and how it helps protect our individual rights. The judicial branch of government plays a huge role in how the government protects individual rights. The writers of the Constitution created an independent judiciary so that the judicial branch will be able to make decisions that were not influenced by the executive or legislative branches. Article 3 of the U.S. Constitution outlines the structure and powers of the judicial branch. Article 3 states that judges would serve during good behavior and would be protected from any decrease in their salaries in order to prevent the other two branches from removing judges or decreasing their salaries if they don't like a decision. Of course, if a judge is doing something illegal, that judge can be removed or impeached. But it's important that our judges, our judicial branch, be free from pressure that the legislative or executive branch might put on them to ensure that the judicial branch protects our rights. Another way that the rights of the individual can be protected by the judicial branch is through the appellate process. The appellate process allows citizens to appeal a decision from a lower court to a higher court to make sure that everything in the trial was done according to the law. You can learn more about this in the legal system topic area on civics360. Let's check in. Try to answer the following in your own words. How does an independent judiciary safeguard our rights? Having an independent judiciary helps make sure that judges and courts can make fair decisions without pressure from the legislative or executive branches. Pretty important idea to help protect our rights. Let's recap what we've learned so far. The judicial branch helps make sure our rights are protected. And Article 3 of the U.S. Constitution outlines the structure and powers of the judicial branch. The principle of an independent judiciary is that judges are protected from being removed from power if a decision makes the legislative or executive branches mad. And the appeals process is another way the judicial branch protects our rights. We've certainly learned a lot about how the Constitution and the judicial branch safeguard our rights. So to answer that question, how does the Constitution protect or safeguard individual rights outside of the Bill of Rights? We have the idea of habeas corpus, the idea that we shouldn't have any ex post facto laws, and the concept of the independent judiciary. All concepts or ideas we'll find in the Constitution outside of the Bill of Rights. Something important to remember, though, as we wrap up, is that not only does our Constitution protect our rights, but it also limits our rights sometimes for some very important reasons. And be sure to watch the video on limits on rights in this module to learn more. This video is produced by the Florida Joint Center for Citizenship at the Lou Frye Institute. Thanks for watching.